What's going on, y'all? In this video, YouTube officially deleted my mushroom vlogs. Now, I wanted to just give y'all an update to anybody that might have looked for it, thought I deleted them, or if any of y'all been watching me and you didn't know that I had mushroom vlogs on my channel. Now, I'm pretty sure that they deleted them because I was actually showing and displaying the controlled substance, the psilocybin mushrooms, on camera, vlogging myself tripping on the beach, in the woods, wherever. Yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know, because a lot of this information, a lot of this knowledge, a lot of just the buildup of me equipping myself with all of the proper perspective has been to one day be doing a lot of psychedelic vlogs and sharing a lot of psychedelic content with y'all. Luckily, I'm not a psychedelic YouTuber. I haven't just made myself that. I haven't just staked everything on being a psychedelic YouTuber. Of course, it is a lot of them out here. And they say that, you know, if it's for educational or artistic purposes, then it's okay to display drugs and controlled substances. But if you promoting it, then yeah, it's not allowed, and YouTube is going to delete the video and take it down, blah, blah, blah. So just wanted to make that shit clear. Young CT, I'm a rapper, I'm a researcher, and I'm a teacher. So I want to make that shit clear. Psychedelics is just a tool. Drugs is just a tool. Alcohol is just a substance. But truly, y'all, these are occult tools. Alcohol, drugs, any mind-altering substance, that's an occult substance. So something that you probably won't hear often. But understand that the occult is just the hidden. It's just the psychology. It's just the shadow. It's just the spiritual realm. It's just the cause behind the effect. So you drink alcohol, you smoke weed, you do some mushrooms, you do some acid. You technically are tapping yourself into the occult side of you and the occult side of life. In different movies and music videos and everything, they always depict just the different visual setting and feeling when you're under this inebriated substance, whether it's alcohol, drugs, lean, weed, whatever. Now remember, like I mentioned before, smoking weed gets you low. You don't get high from smoking weed. You get high from doing psychedelics and heroin. But weed, that shit gets you low. And at the same time, it makes you slow. It makes your body move slow. It makes your thoughts move particularly a little bit faster, but your body is going to be a little bit slow. Of course, that S, and just remember, y'all, that S word is extremely pivotal. It's a very powerful letter, I should say. You add an S to the word low and you get slow. You add S to the word laughter and you get slaughter. So it kind of like gives you the opposite effect when you add the S letter to anything. There's a lot of different definitions I could go on, but yeah, I've said it before. And if y'all want to hear it, and if y'all want to hear any breakdowns of etymology, if you want to hear any breakdowns of anything, shout out to the bro that recommended I watch the movie Begonia, because that was a great fucking movie. And I am going to have a review, make a video detailing that movie. It actually just came out on Halloween Day, October 2025. Who knew? That was a great fucking movie, and that was like super up my alley. It was super the type of movie that I'm into. So shout out to you for recommending that. My first thoughts when I realized, oh, this is called Begonia. Lil Wayne got a line in one of his songs. He said, got some hoes from California, think they shit smell like begonias. Got a bone to pick, I pick it till you're boneless. Like I come from San Antonio, pop up at the spur of the moment. How you want it when in hell I'm a Roman and I'm a Roman. Heater by the abdomen. He said heater by the abdomen. That is one of my favorite Lil Wayne lines. That rhyme scheme, that song is called Life of Mr. Carter off the deluxe of the Carter 5. So, yeah. What y'all should know, what y'all should understand about psychedelics, about mushrooms, that shit just taps you into the spiritual realm. Ultimately, it's really good for shadow work. It's really good for just, you know, feeling something, because that's what I realized too a few weeks ago. A lot of y'all don't have bad lives. A lot of y'all just need to feel something. A lot of y'all just need to feel better. Whatever you've been doing, your everyday, day-to-day, year-to-year life ain't been doing it. Something just ain't been making you feel good. You need to feel more, whether it's more excitement, whether it's more motivation, whether it's more of a big reason. And 9 times out of 10, you need a spiritual feeling. So that's what them psychedelics is good for. It tunes you into the spiritual reality. If you need to get in contact with God, if you need to get in contact with something bigger than you, something bigger than this physical world, that is what the psychedelics is there for. And that's what they're pivotal for. So yes, a lot of y'all just need to feel something. Again, you can feel good right now just by saying it. Say it with me, y'all. I feel good. Everything is good. Life is good. I'm good. Everything is working out. I am healthy. I am whole. I am free. I am here. I am centered. I am present. These affirmations that you can repeat to yourself, y'all, it changes your chemistry. It changes your brain cells. It changes your subconscious. But you got to keep doing it. You literally have to keep doing it 24 hours, 7 days a week. Because, yeah, it's like a workout. It's like a workout for your brain. You've been programmed however many years of society and family and your culture and media, news, social media, friends, school, programming you to think the way that you think. Then the way that you think just creates the way that you feel internally. So you have to literally work out your brain 24/7 if you want to feel different, if you want to change the direction and trajectory of your life. But man, oh man, them thoughts, that subconscious judgment, them subconscious standards that we is holding up, 9 times out of 10 was just some shit that was given to you. So yeah, that's all when it comes to unlearning and relearning, reprogramming your mind. And ultimately, that's just what life is about. Now, psychedelics, of course, just make that shit more real. And the other thing that it makes more real is death. The inevitable. Of course, truly, it's the ego deaths that we have and undergo during the psychedelic experience. Realizing that, oh, I've been talking and thinking this way. Why have I been that way? Why have I been doing these things? Why have I been acting like that? Why have I been accepting this in my life when really I know truly I don't want it? Because truly you just get in contact with your soul on a psychedelic experience. You get in contact with you, the I, the awareness, the thinker, the observer. But in your everyday life, when you got to work, socialize, change diapers, clock into a job, make dinner, get snow off your car, put gas in your car, you is operating through the ego. You operating through the ego, and you also operating through your defense mechanism is because you're chosen to participate in this controlled society. And that's all it is, y'all. So that's why I make that shit so clear that we all free will choose to participate in this controlled society. Now, let's just take, for instance, an example where everyone worldwide did mushrooms all at once. The whole world would change. What you know to be life would simply cease to exist. If everyone did mushrooms at once, there would be mass call-offs. There would be mass people not fucking participating in building up this economic structure. Construction workers, stockbrokers, doctors, lawyers, a lot of people would just not show up to work the next day. And then the whole system would take a huge hit. A lot of things would fucking change. The police and military would stop putting on their uniform and killing and violating innocent people. A lot of shit would change if this world did psychedelics. That's why it is a controlled substance. That's why it is basically something that is clearly, you can't just freely talk about it on YouTube and have too many people thinking about trying it. You can't just be influencing the world to do psychedelics. But in some way, shape, or form, you can, maybe under a therapeutic college doctorate setting of some sort. Psychedelic research is worthy and applicable. But I guess for the layperson, you can't just be showing psychedelics. And I see why. It'll wake up the world. It'll ultimately just get people in tune with their I, with the soul, with the awareness. And then you realize that you've been living a lie. You've been living in a way that you didn't sign up to live. You've been living and thinking and believing things that you truly don't want. So psychedelics, mushrooms in particular, we're going to focus on in this video. They have a very unique way of just like zeroing you into your own thoughts and your own reality. Remember, actuality is out there. Actuality is the objective 3D visible world. It is what is effectively and actually happening outside of you. Now your reality is literally what is real internally. So it's always real to you. Whatever you go through, whatever you see, whatever you feel, you make it real. That's your reality. But in actuality, everybody is going through their own different reality, and then it creates the actual objective aggregate culture of life, the social setting that we all live in. That is the actual thing going on, but it's all dictated because of our programmed thoughts, because of our realities coming to merge with each other. Now, everybody's reality has been programmed in a similar way. And the most similar way is just UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, money, make money, spend money, pay bills, get a house, and just continue working for this fiat currency, continue working and trading in stocks and crypto, but you've just been programmed into Uniform Commercial Code. That is the land of the seas and the law of the land and the law of the seas. It is the overarching governmental theme of this whole world. All countries in this world participate in UCC. That is how Japan and America can make trades. You go to California or New York and you see a bunch of ports and ships. Same thing with China. You got shipping containers and ports everywhere. That's because each country is operating under UCC, and then we're all in this whole global economic system together. So that's the main overarching culture of life on Earth. Now, what makes it very confusing is that everyone has and speaks different languages. That's like the main huge divide, that they really have people able to keep them just walking along in the same format, but then hating people that are different from them. I mentioned before, colorism is retarded. Racism is damn near logical, but racism stems from colorism, and ultimately the culturism stems from us all speaking different languages. You got Chinese, Arabic, African languages, Spanish, German, Russian, English, like French. Goddamn, why is there so many languages? Why are there so many boundaries? Why is there so much dividing us as people? Yeah, a lot of shit to really come down to. And ultimately, y'all, I talk so much about the bigger game and bigger scheme of life, because it's like once you really take in and consider all of the factors, then you can really just fucking relax. But once you start to focus on your minute life, your minute situation, you start to focus on just what you're going through. You start focusing on how people treat and deal with you. You start focusing so much on your goals and your ego and your pursuit and what you want. Then you just kind of fucking cause a lot of self-inflicted suffering. Because if you don't recognize how programmed everyone is, first off, it'll just be bad for your sales. It'll be bad for your entrepreneurship if you don't know how people think, if you don't know the motivations, if you don't know the social and political climate of life, if you're trying to make money and sell and do whatever you're trying to do, scale your business. So yeah, just, limit how much you focus on self. Because as soon as you focus on other people, that's when the money comes in. That's when you can be a provider, a leader, travel, live good, eat better food, have better clothes, all of the material desires that you may want. So I want to make one thing clear right now. I'm very aware that the highest percentage of people that I'm talking to is men ages 18 to 30, 30 to 40, however old y'all is, even the teens that may be watching and tapping in with my channel. I know that I'm talking to a way higher percentage of y'all than women. So I want to make one thing clear to the men that's watching me. You will never get women bashing from my channel. You will never get woman hate from my channel. You will never see me blaming women for the problems of life. You will never see me blaming women for how they make men feel, or why men are incels, or marriage rates are declining, or this, that, the other. I don't blame women, and y'all shouldn't either, because women just lead and follow after us. We are the leaders and they are the followers. And the government and the system and the media and everything has programmed all of us to live in certain ways, and then it just creates them to be more primal, more in the moment, and more considering and doing what's best for them and not thinking as much long term. So clearly on the internet, at least from what I see, it's a lot of gender divide. It's a lot of men mad at women, and it's a lot of women mad at men. And that whole thing is clearly something I'm going to talk about as I talk about everything in this game of life. But to my men in particular, just want to let y'all know, you're not going to get no women bashing and no women hate and no excuses and deflecting the blame as to your relationships, why it's not working out, why a chick not messing with you, why a chick left you, why your baby mama is not participating with your lead, with your rules, she not following your guidelines, etc., etc. We need to fucking tune our minds as men, as leaders on this planet. And to the women that are watching, I'm 9 times out of 10 primarily talking to the masculine, logical leader women, or even the single women that gotta fucking make a way for your own self. Single moms, whatever you are, whatever you doing, however you done fucking got yourself in whatever life situation you are as a woman, 9 times out of 10, you can benefit from the control frequency too. You can benefit from controlling your mind, and you can benefit from thinking like a man. I think Steve Harvey made a book like that, so maybe read that too. But goddamn, it is so many fucking outlets and things in this world that's gonna try to control your mind, try to tell you how to live. Ultimately, you have to learn and do what's best for you. And then as far as making your relationships work better, it all comes down to emotional control and self-awareness. Know thyself, and then do what is in your singular, unique best interest. Raise up yourself, self-improve yourself, and do what's best for you. So again, y'all, it's always going to be a dominator and a submissive in a relationship. Or sometimes the woman is the dominator. Sometimes the woman is the logical leader making the most money in a relationship. But oftentimes it's going to be the man doing that. And then even however financial situation a woman may have in a relationship, the man is still looked to as the leader physically. Because you stronger, you bigger, you're logical, and just your fucking bone density is way different than hers. So that's one thing that we can all come to grips with right now, is that men and women are the absolute most polarized thing on this planet. And oftentimes we can all get caught up, women and men can get caught up believing and thinking that the other gender thinks like you. No, men, we're thinking force, we thinking go, we thinking strong, we thinking power through. Women are thinking feel, figure out, relax, and take a slightly softer, easier path of least resistance. So we all have to tune and work together, yin yang, to become better. Now, again, when it comes to controlling and maintaining your relationship, if you're a woman and if you're a man, listen up. You must know thyself, and you must have self-awareness and that emotional control. Ultimately, stop negatively projecting. Fix your attitude toward your partner, toward your courtships, toward who you date. Fix your attitude, because your attitude is going to dictate how you see them and how they come across to you. So that's first and foremost. You absolutely need to fix your attitude, and that's your paradigm. Basically start to shift, change the way you look at something, and then that something that you're looking at will change. It's science, it's alchemy. So that's first and foremost. But and why am I even talking about relationships? Why am I branching off from the psychedelics? Is because psychedelics, in a sense, just turns you inward, and then it helps you be able to see your own life and self clearly. Now, I've laid out so much of the bigger picture of life, but I definitely want to start to get down to the microcosm, the intricacies of socializing and dealing with people and relationships and maintaining and everything else. And I'm here to tell you, first and foremost, I'm gonna reiterate, it starts with your attitude. It starts with your self-image and the image that you are projecting onto other people. Project positivity, project forgiveness onto other people, project love and acceptance and abundance onto other people. All of the limiting, scarcity, negative, fearful, anxious thoughts that you may have about yourself, and then you end up projecting on other people, thinking that they thinking like you, seeing the world like you, going through what you're going through, then that's just going to create an undesirable loop of negativity. So that's why ultimately, within trying to fix your life, within trying to manifest better, it usually will always start with positive feelings. But shadow work, on the other hand, starts with a lot of negative observations, a lot of negative observations. So, of course, it's a very paradox. It's a very split and merger of things. You got shadow work on this side, psychedelics, observing the occult, observing the fucking fucked up corruption of this world and this society and this whole system that we're living in, and why it is so conducive to suffering and unhappiness and pain and people fighting and arguing and blah, blah, blah. Then on this side, you have acceptance and love, and ultimately being at peace with the violence and corruption and death and despair that takes place on this planet. Because clearly here in America, we have the most liberty. We have the biggest chance to do what we want, to live how we want to live, and to create the world that we want to create. But clearly where a lot of people just get caught up and trapped up is in their relationships, in their personal and intimate relationships. Then you end up having kids, and then you got to put your kids through the school system. Then you just caught up in the fucking matrix and rat race. But you can get yourself out of it through money and ultimately rising above it first spiritually and mentally, because that change has to happen first internally, and then it'll manifest physically. So no matter what situation you in, no matter how bad you think it is, no matter how good or great it is, you always have room to improve and make it better. And then you always have room to get the fuck up out of your situation 9,000 times 10% completely. All right. I want to make that shit evidently super clear. And really, it's just keeping that faith and that abundance and that positive mindset. So again, I'm not here to bash women. I'm not here to bash men. I'm not here to say nobody is to blame but you for your problems, for your situation, for your life, for what you go through, for how people treat you. It is absolutely on you. And then the picture that you paint onto people creates that fucking loop of negative thinking and that loop of going back and forth, voices in your head talking about, why do they do this? How do they do this? Why do they do this? 9 times out of 10, that person is not thinking about you. That person has moved on. That person is on to different things. That person has found somebody else to occupy their mind and somebody else to go to war with egoically. All right. But then you still sitting there attached to the situation. And that's just life. What happens in this world, y'all, like attracts like. So what and who you are is going to always attract and repulse more of what and who you are not. You get more of what you are, you repulse what you are not. So the more you be yourself, ultimately you will slowly align with the people and things that are you. But that's the motherfucking paradox. Being yourself can 9 times out of 10 make you lose something that you want. Because what happens is if you got a split psyche, one side of you wants something, the other side of you don't want it, but the other side of you want something else, then you just, one day you working good over here and you manifesting, and then you slowly losing this side. That's why it's all of this life shit is an extreme balancing act, and it's all about knowing thyself and having self-awareness. So yeah, goddamn. Don't even remember what terminology or phrase I just used to imply that. But yeah, sometimes in this game of life, y'all, with self-improvement, with having desires, you basically, it's always going to be something in your shadow. So that's why just mental work is everything. Mentally tapping in, mentally doing the work to maintain your situation, to know what you want and what you don't want, blah, blah, and blah. Oh yeah, being yourself. Being yourself will slowly align the things that are like you, and then it will fall away the things that are not like you. So that's what y'all want to be extremely careful with when it comes to being yourself, when it comes to people that promote you to just be yourself. Robert Greene to tell you that it's not always the best to be 1,000% honest and truthful at all times, because yeah, in this business world, that's really what it is. Because in the business world, that's already unnatural and violent and corrupt. You basically kind of got to act unnatural in a sense. You got to act in a way that's not naturally you. And if it's being yourself, and if it's shouting and saying whatever, being whatever, acting whatever, displaying whatever emotions and thoughts and behaviors, oftentimes that shit can lead to a detriment in some way, shape, or form. And that's what y'all must know and understand. So yeah, when you're talking to people, when you're dating, going through relationships, when you're trying to maintain something, when you're trying to find somebody to build and have a family with, you get too caught up in being yourself rather than being what the other person needs or wants. And, you truly just got to choose what's your better sacrifice. Be yourself and be more happy and content and peaceful, or be a little bit different. Be what that other person wants. Be what they want to see from you. And then you literally have a fine line and balancing thing to do. But yeah, stay strong, keep your faith high, keep your mind abundant, keep your image towards self strong, keep imagining yourself stronger and better. And ultimately, y'all, just really come down to grips with what you want, with what you desire. in this game of life. Because once you do the psychedelics, once you've experienced it all, once you know and see the bigger picture of life, then it's just about shit. Got about 50 years left to live. What next? And then, you know, we continue on. So I guess that's kind of the part where I'm getting at now. Laid out so much about life in the past 140 plus videos. And now it's just about the intricacies of it. Clearly, getting money is an easy solution. Just working hard, making cash, producing, selling, entrepreneurship, stock market, investing, crypto, all of those things. Again, to my men that I know that I'm particularly talking to, that's going to have that willpower, that's going to have that strength, that's going to have that endurance to go out and do those things. It's an easy solution, but you ultimately want to feel satisfied internally. You want to be happy internally. The psychedelics is going to get you on a great path to that, and I'm going to make sure that I continue to be a pillar of light and a foundation to also keep y'all aligned and on the path with what you want. Not what other people want for you, but with what you want. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, more information, more studying, because it's just a constant game 24/7 of tuning your mind. That's it. That's really it. That's really it. Tuning your mind 24/7 and constantly learning. I love y'all. Stay God.